Okay, so we're on part 4 of the sales contract. This may or may not be specific to Maryland. It says Maryland, but there's some things that we find that are for federal also. I say that almost on every video, just so you're aware and you're not wasting your time. We only have 2 lessons and an exam on this one, so we should get through this pretty quick, hopefully. States that both parties must consent to the assignment of the agreement. Of the agreement to someone else. Explains that the headings in the contract are for references only. Cites the days as used in the contract are refer to calendar days, and the parties are bound by what is written in the contract. Must consent to the assignment of, let's see how we did. Okay, so we got all those right. The sales contract cannot be assigned. I don't know what that means, but I'm going to say no. The sales contract can be assigned with written consent. All right, I'll just put yes on that one. If the contract is assigned, the original parties remain obligated to the terms and conditions of the contract until settlement. Okay, so that one's false. I had it right the first time. For the purposes of calculating days, the count of day begins on the day following the day or day of notice required to the performance being made. Any references to time in the contract assume the Eastern time zone. And this is because we're on the East Coast. Whatever coast you're in your state is what the time zone is. All right, review each statement and determine if it's true or false. The contract contains the final and entire agreement between the parties. A final and entire agreement cannot be changed. If the parties to the contract can be bound as long as they are contained outside the contract, as long as they are in writing. That doesn't make any sense. Let me read that again. The parties to the contract can be bound by any terms, conditions, warranties, representatives that are contained outside the contract, as long as they're in writing, yes. And yes, it's bound by your laws. Okay, that is not true. The parties to the contract are not bound by anything, and the final agreement can be changed. Okay, so we'll go through this one more time. Yeah, we're absolutely right the second time. Non-assignability to entire agreement section recap. Sales contract on the signatures. All right. If agreed to and authorized by all parties, electronic signatures can be used to execute the sales contract. Very true. Welcome to the 21st century, thank God. Both the seller and buyer are encouraged to sign the sales contract before consulting. No, false. You want to do that before you sign it. By signing the signature page, the buyer and seller agree into the terms. Both the seller and seller receive copies of the signed contract. The sales contract is not a binding until it is signed by both parties. Yes. Seller responds to offer conditions. Okay, let's build this story. If the seller likes the offer and has no issues with the price of the terms of the agreement, she'll more than likely accept the offer. On the other hand, if the seller doesn't like the offer, she might just counteroffer. She can, but she might also reject if someone comes in with something else. Okay, never mind. We're going to go back through this again. She may accept it. She may reject it if she doesn't like the terms, and she may counteroffer it if she wants a higher price. Signatures recap. If both parties agree, that becomes a legally binding arrangement. Okay, let's see how many questions. We got 4 questions, and we need to get every one of these right. All right, it's Eastern time here because I'm in Maryland. Okay, if the sales contract is assigned, at what point of the transaction are the buyer and seller obligated? until settlement, I guess. All right, when does the sales contract become a binding agreement? After both parties signed it. Which section of the residential contract says the contract will be governed by the state of Maryland? I'm guessing the entire agreement section, settlement section. We might have failed this. No, we passed. Which one did we get wrong? The last one. Okay, entire agreement. Remember, I was saying that. All right, we're finally getting out of the state of Maryland on the next unit. Thank God. So the next unit is going to be sales contract provisions, contingencies, and disclosure, because I am tired of looking at the Maryland sales contract. So this applies to all the states in the United States if you're doing real estate. This was a short and sweet one. I will see you on the next video. Thank you.